Hi, I'm Megan Forrester with General Mills, and today I'm here with our Chief Supply Chain Officer, John Church. John, thanks for your time today. Our first question for you is really kind of about how has the outbreak of COVID-19 affected our supply chain at General Mills?
Hi, Megan. Pleasure to be with you today. I'm really proud of the way the supply chain team has stepped up. We've seen incremental demand really across the broad variety of our businesses as the away from home businesses move to more at home, which tends to lend itself to a broader set of our portfolio. The team has done a remarkable job of facing that incremental demand, working together, navigating both with our customers and internally to make sure we can plan and then execute. Can't say enough about the folks in our plants and our teams and our distribution centers that have dealt with that challenge in a way that's been both taking care of our number one priority, which is safety for our food and safety for our employees. We've put together some practices and procedures that are serving us very well.
John, you mentioned human and food safety. How are we ensuring our food and employees are safe during this outbreak?
So first of all, the WHO and the CDC have made it clear that our current food operating practices are sufficient to ensure the food safety. We don't have our employees interacting with our food. We have very high quality standards, and so that's been less of a concern for us. We follow our current high quality practices. The challenge for us has been around ensuring that we can navigate social distancing in our plants, and so that's not only how we work and how we're scheduling people, but it's things like common areas. And so we're doing extra sanitation and cleaning, sterilization in common areas to make sure that that's not a source of potential contamination and spreading of the disease. We're doing creative things like leveraging conference rooms and even employees' cars to give them private spaces for breaks so that they're not convening in areas where they might be closer than 6 feet apart. We're, as a supply chain, a number of our teams are working remotely. So we're leveraging video for things that would have historically taken place face-to-face. We're leveraging technology in an interesting way. We may have an expert sitting in a plant in Missouri who's assessing the technical challenge of an issue we have in a plant in France, and they're leveraging an iPad. They're leveraging video technology in order to troubleshoot and work through those challenges. Some tools that we built in place that we might have thought we would use episodically, we're now using on a regular basis. That's allowing us to ensure that not only our food and our food practices are continuing to be safe, but our employees are safe as well.
John, for the team members that are showing up and going to our facilities each day to make the food the world loves and quite frankly needs right now, how are we supporting those team members specifically during this time?
So in a number of different ways, and we're finding that everybody's need is a little bit different. First of all, for all of our production essential team members, we are offering a daily attendance bonus that really acknowledges the fact that they're having to show up in a way that's different. We're asking them to do some really different things, and we want to reward them appropriately for that. In addition to that, some folks, their real need is childcare and access to childcare, and so we're hooking them up with additional resources and trying to make that an easier thing for them to manage, because obviously we're all having to deal with both our personal and professional lives as we navigate through this. And we've also offered our employees 2 weeks of COVID-related leave that they can take to take care of their child, to take care of somebody who might be ill in their, certainly for their absence. And that's in addition to the benefits we had on top. And it's really to give them the flexibility they need and ensure that they can manage their life in concert with the demands that we're going to put on them.
So speaking of demands, how is the supply chain keeping up with the increased consumer demand for our products?
It's been an interesting challenge. First of all, the performance has been absolutely remarkable. People are very focused. They know how important it is to be making food for consumers in their time of need. It's interesting. Our brands bring a bit of normalcy and stability to our consumers, and so our employees don't take that lightly. That said, we have a number of different sort of size packs and flavors, et cetera. What we've tried to do is really focus on the ones that are most important, that can be used most broadly throughout the different channels that we've got. It's a balancing act of working with our customers and then trying to understand what are the things that we can make the most of in order to ensure we can be as productive and make as much food as is possible during this time. And so it's been a prioritization process. We're navigating through that. In soup in particular, we might have 90 SKUs of soup at any one time. We might be making half of those, and then really giving our customers what we can afford to give them. The other thing is, agilely, we may find that we have a supply disruption based on a supplier's issue, based on COVID-related or precautionary illnesses. Those kinds of things we're managing through in real time, and we might switch from one production to a different production. That agility is going to serve us well and allows our people to be productive and make as much food as possible.
So to keep the thread going on agility with the COVID-19 outbreak, have there been any steps that you and your supply chain team have had to take to transform the way that you maybe previously operated to kind of what the new operating norm has to be given what we're dealing with?
Well, we've had historically a regular cadence around let's take a look at our supply and demand, craft our supply response. That's moved to certainly a daily meeting, and quite honestly, that control tower of managing the different disruptions and inputs and outputs, the demand signal has moved to more 24/7, navigating through that, understanding the issues and challenges. That agility, working through the challenges with our business, I think, is a really important thing. It allows us to balance our customers' needs with our ability and what the value chain will give us at any particular moment. And I think that's an important set of skills and a set of practices. We've also created ways to view that data and visualize that data so we can view our performance in real time through dashboards, so we can make better decisions and work together along that path. We've done things like, it's interesting, we have offered the opportunity for some of our employees that aren't in manufacturing plants to volunteer, actually. And we've had 700 people from around the company volunteer to work in manufacturing plants, because obviously those are people that have real challenges in dealing with their own issues. They have to show up in our plants. And so that extra, those trained and committed folks, the ability to add value has been really heartening to see. That level of flexibility and agility is something that will certainly serve us well and is very much appreciated by our line folks and our operations around the world.
Thanks, John. We'll end it there. Really appreciate your time today, and have a good rest of your day.
Thanks, you too. Take care. Be safe.